Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta. I come from Norway and I love makeup. And today I'm super excited to be continuing my Zodiac series because finally it's time for my Zodiac sign. If you didn't know, probably none of you know, but my birthday is the 7th of August, so it's almost there and I'm super excited to finally be doing a custom palette for my Zodiac sign. Even though the shades that were described in the page that I used, I always use nowletsgetgoing.com's color palette for Zodiac signs to find the different colors that are supposedly fitting for the Zodiac signs. And yeah, obviously it was some gold, red, brown, those kind of shades, but I think I managed nicely. So first of all, this series is me basically just doing a 9-pan custom palette for each Zodiac sign. I do it every month and I just, as I said, use that website to find the different colors. I know that a lot of people have like very close ties to their Zodiac signs, so if you're a Leo and you don't like this color story, I'm sorry. You can always comment down below what you wish was in it or what you didn't like, or what you liked is also fine to say. And I really don't mean to offend anyone with this. It's just for fun and I just love making custom palettes and I think it's a fun way to like do something every month. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read out to you what nowletsgetgoing.com says about the Leo Zodiac sign. Strong-willed self-starter Leo. You are no stranger to taking the lead, so you need colors that will help you do that in style. Bold like your ruling planet, the sun. Orange and yellow is what to wear when you're closing the deal and charming your audience into a stupor. Think royalty the next time you shop and reach for purples, golds, red and gold. There are not a lot of colors that Leos can't rock, but do stay away from pastels and beige. They will turn your strong personality from charismatic to plain exhausting. Leo color palette: eggplant, gold, orange and copper. Leo color palette: no-nos, pale pink, light blue and white. With that in mind, I created this little custom 9-pan palette, and as you can see I have an eggplant, I have some warm typical like sun colors, and I have an iridescent one here that actually has a very strong orange shift to it, and also lime, so it's a very exciting shade. And this one also has a really beautiful shift from almost like a pinkish shade to an orangey coppery shade, as you can see right here. Then I have a deepening shade right here, just a deep brown. I have some more royal shades right here and here. So we have some blue, we have some purple, but this one also shifts to like a greenish coppery shade. It's like very multi-dimensional. So I'm really happy with this palette and I think I'll just go ahead and swatch it. And obviously I'll put the names up on the screen for you guys. I did just go ahead and spray my finger with some setting spray for the two pigments that I have that are a little bit deeper. So the starting shade here is Handful of Freckles. As you can see, it has this gorgeous shift from orange to green, and I'm just in love with that shade. Then we have the orange shade, beautiful, a very shifty coppery reddish pink yellow pigment, that is the Life Giver from Tammy Tanuka. Then we have the yellow, which is from Inglot, Cognac from Terra, Inglot 306 I think it is. Then we have Harbouring the Essence, which as you can see is super shifty. Goes from like this beautiful almost eggplant purple, goes like through both cool tone purple and warm tone purple, and then through like this gold shade and green on the outer corner right here. Then we have this beautiful eggplant from Looxi Beauty called Midnight Violet, and of course Watermark by JD Glow, which is like so stunning. I cannot wait to use that as like the star of the show in a look, like maybe like a smoky blue look or something. So that is the whole color story for Leo, and I feel like I personally like it a lot, at least. So please let me know what you think of it, and let's just jump straight into the look that I did using all of these shades. So I'm just going to start with Inglot 306. It's this deep brown, and I'm just going to focus that in my outer corner. As usual, I do have my NARS smudge proof base right here, and I'm basically just tapping the shadow into the crease and then slightly buffing out the edges. And I want it like a little bit further than the middle, just because this is going to be like my deepening shade for both the purple and the red. And then I'm going to try to like blend it out into the orange and yellow, I think. So now I really want to go in with the purple on the outer corner of the crease, and I'm just going to tap that right above where I did the buffing out. So I'm not really scared of like taking over the brown, because I only use the brown to get more depth in this look, because I wanted it a bit darker. But now I'm just going to focus on placing down the purple in the outer part of the lid. And I'm going to like place this shade, the darkest shimmer, in the outer crease, and then I want this one, no, this matte shade to like go as far as I want that shimmer on my lid. So I think that will be like not half the way, but like until here or something. Something like that, and I will focus on the lower parts here when I'm done with my face makeup, because I want to drag the purple and a little bit of the brown down here, and then I want to use the bluish greenish purpley shade right here for my lower lash line, but just like in the middle, I think. So now I'm just going to do the same with my other eye with the purple, and then I'm going to start with the red and the orange and the yellow. I just wiped off my brush on a towel, and now I'm going to go into Cognac here, and these are quite powdery, so I probably shouldn't have gone in that hard. Okay, it seems to be fine, but this one is probably going to apply even more opaque than the purple, so I just want to make sure I try to like slightly build it up, because this one is probably going to take over the brown a little bit more as well. As you can see, I'm like barely tapping in. I have a ton of product left on my brush, and I want to really make sure I don't get this too high up, and of course buffing out the edges ever so slightly. And I'm just going to take this brush that has like residue of setting powder on it, just because I set above here off camera, and I'm just going to like help buff out the edge right here. I might just overlap a little bit with the yellow, but I'm already quite high up towards my brow, so I don't want to like go crazy. So I'm just going to take this tiny brush from Kaleidos Makeup. It's the S5 brush, and I'm barely dipping into the shadow. And I did get a lot of product just by doing that, so I think I'm just going to tap off. I never really do that, because to me that's like wasting product. But I'm just going to add a little bit here on the edge, and I don't want to drag that too far so that it goes to the purple, because yellow and purple really don't blend nicely together. So I just want to have it right here where I have the red, and then I think I'm just going to go in with the orange and then continue the yellow down. But as you know, I like to put down the deepest shade first, so for now I'm just placing the yellow right here. Might go in a little bit more later, but for now I'm just going to go into the orange shade, and that is the shade Butternut by Terra as well. Both of these are from Terra. And again, not tapping in a lot because these are very loose in the pan. And I'm just going to start right here because I need to like see how deep it is. I might want to drag the red shade a little bit more down. So I'm just taking a little bit of Cognac here, because it looks a lot darker here where I have the brown. Just to make sure that I have like a nice transition from like the more deeper red into the more brighter red and orange. Now I'm just tapping into the orange again. And then I'm taking that brush with a tiny bit of the yellow. And that way I can just go down right here. So now we basically have most of the shades placed, and I just think I want to like go in and intensify and work a little bit more on the blending. It is already pretty good, but I want to like make sure that it's very even here. And as you can see on my lid, because I had it like my eyes open, I have like a spot right here, and I think it's just nice to cover the whole lid just to have like a colored base for the pigments that I'm going to put down. Now I'm just going in with that brush I used with the dark brown. Now the brush I used with the yellow. And I think I'll just go ahead and use a little bit of this brush, the one with just setting powder, just to make sure I get a nice blend right here, because I don't have any transition for the purple, so I think I want to like drag it a tiny bit more up towards the brow. So I'm actually just taking that brush that I was using with the setting powder, and as you can see I'm like tapping down the purple where I actually have it quite dark, so that I can blend it upwards a little bit more. And I already put down setting powder up here, so I don't have to be afraid that I place the pigment and it really sticks. Okay, so I think I'm quite happy with how this is looking, so I'll just finish up the other eye as well, and then we can go in with the pigments. Now I'm ready to do the lid shades, and I'm just adding my BH Cosmetics glitter glue here. Now that we have the glitter glue down, I'm going to go into Harbouring the Essence, and it's a pressed pigment that I pressed myself, so I kind of have to dig a little bit and then I can't hold the palette like that. But as you might be able to see, that way I just loosen up the pigment from the pan and I am able to pick it up and place it on my eye. And this one is a little bit more flaky, so I'm just going to make sure I get a nice amount of it. And once I have it like placed down, I can start rubbing it in a little bit to make sure it sticks to the glitter glue. Also, as I said, I don't want it like too far in towards the inner corner, so I'm just going to end it here, and then I can rather like go in more afterwards. So now I'm just going to take Life Giver. I'm just like using the other side of the brush, and this one has a little bit of a different consistency, and so this one is like easier to work with in my opinion. It's way more loose and the particles are just generally smaller in this pigment, so it's a lot easier to pick up and tap it down. And again, I'm just tapping everything down, making sure that it sticks to the glitter glue, and then like overlapping with the other pigment. And this is actually looking almost even better than I imagined. because sometimes it can look a little bit weird when you have different mica flakes in the pigments, but this is looking really pretty in my opinion. So I think that's it for the upper part of the eye, so I'll just finish up the other eye, do my face makeup, and then I will do the lower lash line. So I'm mostly done with my face makeup. I'm still missing highlight, of course, and lipstick, but I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that deep brown shade from Inglot, and I'm just going to add that right to the outer corner right here. And then I'll be taking the purple to blend out, and I'll have the purple pretty much all over my lower lash line, but I will cover most of it up with that blue shimmer that I still haven't used. So now I'm basically just focusing on extending like my lower lash line, because I have this line that goes here, and I'm just pretending that my eye goes all the way there and creating this illusion with the eyeshadows that my eye is actually longer than it is. So I think I don't need more brown than that. Now I'm just dipping into the purple, and as I did up here, I just want to like overlap. I'm also just dragging the purple right here just because I want that like as a base for the shimmer shade, and I'm just blending it down underneath the line that I have here. It is kind of hard to blend in the corner right here just because my face is like dipping in there, and I kind of want to straighten that with my shadows, so it's not like just taking a straight line because it's going to go inwards. Also, I'm like not afraid to drag this quite far down, because when I'm like talking and stuff, my, I don't know, my under eye is like going to go right here, and it might, let's focus, and it might like transfer some of this shadow. So therefore I like to just drag it quite far down to begin with, just so that I can control it a bit more. So now we have it blended out quite far, and I'm just going to add some glitter glue, and then I'm going to add that blue shade. And now I'm just taking a bit of this one. I'll try to like focus it a bit on the edge of the brush just to be able to control the placement a bit more. And I'm just going to like stamp it down. And as you can see, I'm holding my brush like upside down just because of the way my eye is shaped, of course, to be able to place it down easier and maybe prevent a little bit of fallout. And you can definitely see that a little bit goes a long way with this one. It's actually the first time I'm using this, and it looks so pretty. And again, I'm like making sure I press it down into the glitter glue, and then I'm basically just going to go in with that brush that I used for my lower lash line and just buff out the edges a little bit to disperse some of that glitter that we can see, to make it look not as sharp. So I feel like this is it for the look. Before I forget, I will add a little bit of glitter glue also in my inner corner, and then I will add that inner corner shade that I have in my palette. So that is my finished look using my custom Leo palette, and I feel like it actually turned out better than I expected. I feel like all the shadows performed so nicely. A couple of them I hadn't used before, so it's definitely the Terra Moons ones. I don't think I've used this yellow. I have not used this one, this one. This one I'm not sure if I've used. This one I've used a lot. And this one I've used on my nails that I had before these. But I feel like they all look really beautiful together. I feel like the shimmers, or like the pigments, they just tied together so beautifully on the eye. They look so sparkly, and of course I'm a sucker for that, so obviously I will like it. I generally like feel like there is like this royal vibe to the look because of the purple and the blue, and of course like the more ruby shade in the red, and a little bit like in the shifts in the pigments. And I still feel like the warm shades that are like signature Leo shades are still there, so I'm really happy about that. And I feel like there's a lot of different looks one could do with all of these colors. Like one could just use the more basic shades over here, or even just use this iridescent one on top of some of these to make a very light and more wearable look. And you could also like venture into these shades for some more depth and color, I guess. For the rest of my face, I ended up using for my lips the Colourpop lip liner in the shade Oh Sis, and I also used the shade Made It by Propa Beauty on my lips, and it's like one of my favorite lipsticks. Both of the Propa Beauty lipsticks that I have, they're just so comfortable, and that is super important for me right now because I'm going to work afterwards and I don't want to like struggle with the lipstick getting dry or being really like ugly looking after a few hours, because I'm gonna talk a lot at work. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And I also used my highlighter from M Cosmetics in the shade Sunlight, which has like this orangey warm pinkish hue to it. So just generally very happy with my makeup today. I do feel very like fierce with this eye look. It's a lot, but it's like just within the range that I'm comfortable with. So yeah, I hope that you also like this look. If you're a Leo, I hope that you approve of this palette. I am a Leo and I loved it, so I'm really happy about that. And please also let me know if you would have done something different with the palette, or if you would have just generally gone for some different shadows or shades. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more content from me, then subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!